My News 26 and CCTV. It's high school basketball. Coming to you tonight from Cadillac High School.
38-22, our final here in Cadillac as the Vikings defeat the Gaylord Blue Devils. Must be something going on in this gym tomorrow morning or something, because they're putting the baskets up right away. It's ruining every kid that's sitting here to watch this game. They love to go out and shoot hoops for a little while, and they're putting the baskets up on them. 38-22 the final. The Vikings beat the Blue Devils here in girls Big North basketball action. Jay Simon and Kevin Gregory with you as the Vikings avenge a 52-45 setback to these Blue Devils back on December 2nd. And you can't talk about that and this game, Kevin, without talking about the elephant in the room, that being the broken left thumb of Adrian Edwards, the 3-year starter and senior who, word is, knocked down several three-pointers in that first contest with the Vikings, but unavailable tonight. And then Casey Cordy, who is also clearly, either 1A or 1B as far as best players on the Gaylord team, playing with a broken finger on her left hand. She had the ring finger and thumb taped together, and that clearly impacted her ability to handle the ball and catch and shoot and do the kinds of things she wants to do. So the Blue Devils playing a little undermanned tonight, gave it a game effort. They were still within 6 or 7 early in the fourth quarter, but just ran out of firepower for these Vikings, who are really putting things together here midway through the season.
Yeah, the Cadillac girls, they're on fire right now. I think that's 8-2 in their last 10, and they started the season 0-2. Mentioned the loss to Gaylord, so no doubt the injury bug played a little bit of a factor. But I also want to mention I think a lot of it is Cadillac's hitting their stride in this season. They had that quick turnaround from volleyball. That's clearly behind them now. They're playing well. They controlled the tempo the entire game. You got to credit the guard play for that. They were patient in that 2-3 that they were packing down low against Kylie, moving the ball well around the perimeter. It wasn't stagnant standing around, which is what the 2-3 zone would want you to do. And then in the second half, when Gaylord started mixing it up by switching up some three-quarter court, full court presses, they effortlessly and flawlessly were able to break it and get easy looks and fouls out of it, and then some timely jump shots. So really, it was a complete game for Cadillac. They played well tonight, and if that is a hampered Cordy out there, I don't want to see her at full strength, because she played well tonight for Gaylord.
Yeah, absolutely. Casey Cordy doing her best to keep the Blue Devils in it. She finishes with a team high 11 points, and probably left another 10 to 12 on the floor in the form of in and out layups and ones that weren't actually and ones on the evening. For the rest of the Blue Devils, Elizabeth Hines finishes with 4 points. Kendall Jarsky, Mary Bailey, and Caitlin Putnam each finish with a bucket apiece. Molly Hamilla finishes with 1. I want to give a little shout out and well wishes to Mary Bailey, who left the game with a possible knee injury. I can't tell girls apart, so I'm not sure if she's out on the floor walking or not. Here's hoping that she is.
Right.
And we hope that that's nothing serious. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, Kylie Christensen finishes with 14 points, a game-high 14 points, 10 in the second half, as she asserted herself a little more forcefully as the Blue Devils had to change their defenses up a little bit. They definitely trying to keep her from hurting them by surrounding her with a lot of white shirts in the first half, and she stayed patient and put up some big numbers, including going 4 of 5 from the line. Callie Polis finishes with 8.6 in the second half. Michaela Johns finishes with 7, Hope Emmington with 5, and Alexis Little with 4 points to round out the scoring. For the Vikings, who go 8 of 11 from the free throw line, the Blue Devils go 4 of 9 on the night. Gaylord falls to 4-7, 1-4 in the Big North. Cadillac, as Kevin mentioned, 9-2 in their last 11 games, 9-4 now overall after starting out 0-2. They are 4-2 in the Big North. They are 2 games behind the Petoskey Northmen in the loss column, but Petoskey's just 2-0. They got a lot of games to make up as the schedule starts to kind of work itself out going forward. The Vikings, as we mentioned, we think potentially have a game at Ludington tomorrow night. That's in Ludington. If you're going to go to Ludington, double check me on that one. I'm not sure, but I do know they are definitely hosting Glen Lake on Friday night. That's the 27th cystic fibrosis night, where raising funds to fight that terrible disease. You can buy the purple shirts at the school office for $10. That'll get you into the night. Any of the games, the JV games that'll be going on in the other gym, the 2 varsity games that'll be going on. The girls will be the opener at 5:30 as they take on the Lakers, and then the boys will take on the Gaylord Blue Devils in the nightcap here in the big gym at Cadillac. And Kevin and I will be with you for that one. Any other thoughts on this one?
No, but moving forward for Cadillac, I mean, you mentioned Petoskey's 2-0 in conference, and of course Petoskey had that game winner here in a tight game. They won by 2 against Cadillac, so, you know, every Big North contest is a big game, but you circle that one if you're Cadillac for sure to get that revenge up in Petoskey. And like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I don't think anybody's running the table in the Big North this year. So if you're sitting there at 4-2 and Petoskey's got some games at hand on you, but they're undefeated, you gotta believe that rematch is going to be a big factor in determining the Big North champ.
Yeah, and that rematch will actually come at the end of the season on February 24th when when Cadillac goes north to Petoskey for that one. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils, I believe, have a makeup against Traverse City West coming up, as well as heading to Alpena on February 2nd and Traverse City West again on February 6th. Again, I think there was a missed game in December against TC West that they're going to be making up coming up. That is going to do it for us. We want to thank again Munson Healthcare, Cadillac Rehab, Pizza Plus, Cadillac Tire, and High Point Cadillac GMC for their support of these broadcasts here on 26 Sports and CCTV. Our thanks as well to the hardest working crew in television: Levi Welch, Jacob Fulis, Kaylee Buck, and Austin Jeske on the cameras tonight. Rain Johnson Hill taking his turn behind the wheel in the director's chair, and Dakota Pike shepherding him along. Our thanks to each one of those young people, and they are young people, for their hard work on this broadcast. Kevin and I are the old people.
Stop texting,
on this
Rain.
Crew.
Put the phone down. I can't see. I'm just assuming. I'm assuming.
They do a great job with this 3-camera